is up, trucking fan? Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to get right into it. If you're new to the channel, this is your one spot for everything trucking. Please hit the thumbs up button if you like this video, and please subscribe if you're new to the channel. But let's get right into it. I wanted to make a video about how to do 21,000 in 14 days with a semi. On this particular week or time frame, we did power only. So let's dive right into it. Our first load was from Florida to Ashland, Virginia. It was paying. We got 1,900 here on the rate, and this load was the Lake Wales to Ashland, Virginia. As you can see, that was 810 miles. That load paid $1,900, and we did that load basically in like a day and some change. And then we picked up another load going from Virginia to Lexington, North Carolina, which was this load. From there, we had this $2,000 repower load. That was from Ashland to Flat Top, West Virginia to pick it up. And then we went from Flat Top to Lexington, North Carolina to drop it off. So we had 257 miles plus 165 miles. And that load, we got really lucky on. It had a really high rate per mile. It was a recovery load. So somebody actually broke down and we were able to go recover that load and get it where it needed to be. That load paid $2,000. We then went from there and went to a direct customer load that we had that was paying $7,500 clear out to Utah, which is this load. $7,500. And that was from Lexington, North Carolina to Salt Lake City, Utah. 2,056 miles. We then went from Clearfoot, Utah, from Salt Lake City is where that one delivered. And we went from there to Clearfield, Utah, and picked up another load going to Florida, okay, which is this load. For $6,000 from Clearfield, Utah to Jupiter, Florida, which as you can see is 2,445 miles. So from the Florida load, we were already pre-booked, going from there to Georgia, along with that load for $2,000 that went from Napai, Utah to Conyers, Georgia, which as you can see from Jupiter, Florida, back to Conyers, Georgia. Okay. Now, from Georgia, we were pre-booked coming to Tampa, okay? We picked up this load for $1,800 going from Holy Springs, Georgia, which is around that area, to Tampa, Florida, which as you can see, Conyers, Georgia, back to Tampa, Florida, 448 miles. And then we're done. So basically, that summarizes it all up, how you can do 21,000 and some change in 14 days on roughly 6,000 something miles. We had an overall rate per mile of around $3 and some change, which isn't that great, but I always tell you guys that don't get hung up on the rate per mile. If that rate per mile could have been higher, yes, we would have done less miles, but we had high revenue, really high revenue. So the revenue is the driving factor in profitability. It's not always the top line, and it's not always that rate per mile, and it's not always your cost per mile, it's the profit. Always remember that, guys. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. That's the most important part in any business, and that's the driving factor. The old ways of thinking of a top line business is a revenue is not always the case. It's always about what you keep. So you want to get those profit numbers up there and the percentage as high as possible. And our cost, I didn't really go into it, man. It really takes a lot of time to break down fuel. This was probably one of my videos where I sat down and did a lot of editing and a lot of time and what it takes to do this. So shout out to a lot of the guys that actually break down, every fuel cost, every receipt, things like that. It's just too much work for me to want to do. But costs were roughly, with driver pay, fuel, insurance, truck payments, around 50-60%. So you can kind of just take it from there. I just wanted to show you what you can do with a semi, how it is easier to do it. But I do have some hot shots doing pretty typical numbers like this as well, guys. And it's almost completely standard week right now in this market for our semis to be doing this with 53-foot step decks. Now, I wanted to make this video because I had a client call me and they said that they were doing drive-in and they were hitting numbers in the $5,000 a week range. Those are really low numbers in this market, guys. So I wanted to make this video just to show you what you can do and upload the rate cons, put up the information, teach you guys. And all of those were with no trailer maintenance, no trailer payment, Literally nothing there. Now we do have trailer interchange on our policy so that the trailers are insured, and that's a cost derived to the company, but we didn't have to worry about having any trailers. On total power only situation. I just wanted to try it out, practice in the power only world a little bit myself, as well as get out here and train somebody and whatnot. But going into it with the power only, it wasn't bad. I kind of liked the opportunity to haul a few different types of trailers, which was helpful in teaching somebody how to mess with those type of trailers and different things. It was step deck, it was low boy, it was RGN, it was reefer, it was drive-in. So it was really cool to be able to have that accessibility to different equipment. But it was all drop and hook, guys, literally all drop and hook. We did have to use chains and binders on one of them, so if you're going to do power only, apologize for the being bumpy, guys, but if you're going to do power only, keep some chains and binders if you really have that opportunity to come across for something that's paying really good, and you can go ahead and load it up yourself or use your chains and binders. It's definitely, like I always say, it's the more limitations you have, you're going to run across that one load one time where you can get paid really good and you don't have the equipment or the TWIC card or the whatever to get the job done. So get everything you can set up now so that in the future, if something does happen, I always say when success is when preparation meets opportunity. When that opportunity comes across, that you're able to execute. Because at the end of the day, we have a thin line, and there's only two things that really matter: execution or excuses. So if you don't make the money and you're not able to commit, you're not able to execute, you end up on the excuse side of it. So there's guys that are excuses that aren't making the money, and then there's guys that are executing, like my guys and us. I mean, we had a really good time out here on the road. We made some really good money. Now we're headed back to the house. We'll be back out here to do it again. We'll be back out here making some money. So I just wanted to throw up some rate cons, talk about the money, talk about what you really do, be transparent. I'm not going to make a lot of these videos, guys, not because I can't. I don't want to show the numbers. It's just a lot of work. I don't have the time to do it. A lot going on. But this is just something that I've been wanting to do. So I'm going to throw up these rate cons, throw up these loads, what they look like, what it took us to do it, what kind of money you can make. So for those of you that's saying, I want to get a hot shot, we were comfortable sleeping in this stuff, and having TV, having a microwave, having accessibility. We had the bigger tank, so we didn't have to stop every 5 minutes to fuel up like you do in a hot shot, which is super annoying in my opinion. Unless you have a 100-gallon tank on the back, then you don't have to deal with that inconvenience. But we didn't have to sit. We didn't have to wait for loads at all. I mean, we literally, as soon as we dropped off, we were pre-booked, which most of my guys are anyway, even with the hot shots. My dispatch team does a really good job. We didn't have to deadhead crazy far deadheads to get loads. Our deadheads were less than, probably 60 to 80 miles most of the time. There was a few, you can see there was 25 miles, 29 miles, things like that. So basically, guys, that's the convenience of running a semi, the world of running a semi, and what it really takes to get the job done. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give me a thumbs up. I hope it didn't drag on too long. If you're new to it, again, subscribe. If you're looking for more content, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for consulting on your business, go to consultthetruckingguy.com. We'd be glad to help you reach these numbers if you're not reaching them, and build a plan to help you build a fleet or build your business or grow it any which way you can. I appreciate you guys tuning in. It's The Trucking Guy. We'll catch you on the next one.